He's already talked about the 350 years experience. Innovation, he said 25% of our products never existed 5 years ago, and that has been the trend for Gobain. Energy efficiency is also explained that. We offer technical support, as he said, even for gypsum, ceiling and plasterboard systems. We've just opened a training center along Mombasa Road for fundi training. So we'll soon going to start fundi training. And also any professional that would want to attend this training, you're free to come. We'll be able to give you all the information about the training. I just wanted to explain briefly about our key performance parameters. And the main ones are basically fire resistance, sound absorption qualities. You're talking about moisture resistance, which is very key. And those are the factors that we normally ask you to give us so that we're able to give you a gypsum or a gyprock specification for your project. Construction products, so this is basically what I deal with, and these are the three major brands that we work with. So gyprock is the plasterboard and plaster division of Gobain. Isova is insulation for the walling and the ceiling and roofing systems. And then Weber is our tile adhesives division. That also includes waterproofing, walls, cutting, quite a huge range, self-leveling, screed. There's quite a huge range in our Weber division. So this is just generally the brands that we have in Gobain. Mentioned the first two. Ecophone is our ceiling, mineral fiber ceiling tiles. There's a huge range about it. We'll be able to discuss whether during this seminar or when I manage to come and visit all of you. Dawn Ultra Steel, that's the steel component of the business. PAM is ductile cast iron water distribution systems. Gobain Glass, so that's layers. Lionel has talked about it. Norton is our abrasive division, and then of course gyprock is our plasterboard and plaster division. So plasterboard is just basically calcium sulfate with a lining, with a paper lining on both sides of the board. Okay, so where do you use this? Of course, on your ceilings, which is the most common case in Kenya. But of course now, as drywall systems is catching up, dry lining systems, and column and beam protection. Differences or comparison between a gyp wall system and brick wall. This is something that we always try to work very hard to explain to each and every one of you. So the fire protection, flexibility, weight, I know that one for structural engineers is very important. You save about 8%. Well, the weight of a gyp wall system is about 8 times less than the weight of a brick wall. So you can imagine what you can be able to save on your foundations and your columns and beams when you use a gypsum system. All right, we've talked about the water consumption, construction time. You save a lot of construction time. We've been able to demonstrate that with projects. Quality of material, of course. Sound insulation is very key for gypsum systems, and of course the ease of installation. So a basic plasterboard. Now this is what many of us know about. It's what you find in the market that everybody sells. So it's just gypsum board with a brown paper liner. Now, one challenge I want to give architects in this forum is to try and get as much value from a gypsum system as possible, because it's not just a matter of a lightweight system that you put in a room, but you can be able to get so much value from the system, and I'll be able to explain to you a bit more about this. Acoustic comfort, we're talking about fire resistance, whether it's 1 hour, 2, 3, or 4 hour fire resistance. Moisture resistant for your bathrooms and kitchens. Aesthetic, of course. Those are some of the qualities you can be able to get from the system. Fire resistance. So we have this what happens with these performance boards is that we just alter the composition of the core of the board. So you're able to now create different types of performance of this system. So you can have fire resistant boards. We have, I'll just go quickly, you'd have acoustic performance boards, all right? Moisture resistant boards for your bathrooms and kitchens, as we said. So the core contains water repellent additives. We have high impact resistant boards, it gives it the durability. We also have what we call air purifying plaster boards. These are plaster boards that have elements in the core of the board that are able to absorb what we call volatile organic compounds in your offices. You know, all your machines, all your printers, all your computers, they tend to release these volatile organic compounds. So this board is actually able to absorb them and make them inert so that your air is clean inside the office. We've also recently come up with X-ray boards that can be used in X-ray rooms in hospitals. So that's one of the innovative materials that we are coming up with. So most of these boards, if you realize, each and every performance board has a different color coding on that board. And the reason why we do that is simple, just for ease of identification of the board. Construction technology, I think you've seen in many projects we're moving away from timber. We are going to do steel because of its flexibility, ease of installation, and of course fire protection. So we would normally recommend to do steel work for your partition work and ceiling. Ceiling systems, we have exposed grid systems, high acoustic performance systems called chip-tone, concealed grid systems. This is basically plaster boards, bulkheads, which are also very common in some residential applications and hotels. Some of the projects, I can just mention what we've done. This is copycat offices in Bukuga Green, for example. This is Pathfinder International in Karen. Garden City, a product has been used in quite a number of their projects there, including this Basco Paints showroom. This is our plaster that we use in the market for skimming, and also for plaster around columns and your walling. The adhesives, so as I mentioned, we have quite a number of adhesives brands in the market for pool paints, tile grouts, for all ceramic, marble, porcelain tiles that you intend to use, whether it's big or small size. We have a specific type of adhesive that we'd recommend for those projects. Also for wall skirting, parking areas, self-leveling screeds, so industrial scale screeds. So that's an image of one of them. Commercial flooring for offices and parking. So this self-leveling screed that we used in some projects in South Africa, just to take you through. Insulation, insulation that you're able to put on top of your ceiling. It helps in thermal and acoustic performance, of course, for your rooms. Cavity bat, that's the insulation that you put between the cavity of your walls. Factory lights, that's that you put underside of your industrial structures.